take, a workshop. So you already answered that question. So thank you, Dr. Ahmed, for this interesting presentation. Now we'll move to the third speaker. So our third speaker is Sivaramakrishnan. Hopefully I get that name correct. So let me introduce the speaker. So he's a technologist and strategy professional with over 25 years of experience that includes scaling established organization and being part of core team in startup organization. He have been part of technology implementation and deployment in different company, and he have successfully used IT to enable operational efficiency and bottom-up growth at both the media. And in the last 2 years, he have focused on building a D2C platform from technology operation and business perspective to build startup to capture 5,000 consumer and facilitate business of 10 million in agriculture segments. Without further ado, the floor is yours. So hopefully I get your name correct.
Yeah, Siva. Siva is better.
Okay.
So I want to share my screen.
Okay.
So that I can. Yeah, thank you. So thank you for giving us an opportunity to present a short workshop as part of this FOSS Symposium. So basically, let me give a quick introduction about ERP Next. Yeah, so basically 3Q Space, as part of one of its vertical, focus on ERP Next, a completely free and open source software in the segment of ERP to offer digital transformation solution for small and medium companies. It is not only restricted to small and medium. In very few select cases, there are also very big organizations that use ERP Next as their back-end microservices for providing various digital transformation as part of enterprise. So basically, open ERP solution through ERP Next, to name the first advantage. It gives, we don't charge people based on the number of users. And also the entire bundle of functionality is offered to them in one go. And to offer some of the key functionalities that can be implemented in any organization include in HR, in CRM, in project management. The finance module as part of ERP is pretty good. And even Zeroda, a discount stock broking platform, the #1 stock broking platform back in India, uses ERP Next for some of their functionalities, such as sales invoice generation for their customers. They, in fact, generate per year 9 billion invoices through this platform. Then the manufacturing solution offered through the functionality through ERP Next is good. We can have a pretty much a coordinated approach between the purchase, the manufacturing planning, execution, delivery, etc. And as part of the release 13, the running release in ERP Next, we can also integrate third-party application, something like App Store, Play Store type of functionalities are getting introduced, so that individual people can also sort of include their application that can be used across by the ERP Next community. Since we can offer a micro services as part of ERP, integration of IoT devices can also be done. Say one of the small but very prevalent functionality is integration of the biometric. And so that we have developed an automated solution where from biometrics or with the daily attendance, the payslip can be automatically generated by the end of the month. The key functionality that we are going to showcase today is how an e-commerce platform can be integrated with an ERP. So we are going to go into the nuts and bolts of what are all the aspects that is required to typically integrate an e-commerce platform into the ERP. So we have taken for this demonstration e-commerce platform Jumpoi. Jumpoi is an operational e-commerce platform that is promoted by 3Q Space partner back in India. It has about 5,000 customers, and the platform has achieved a sales revenue of about 1 crore. That is more of an Indian term. So it is about 10 million revenue in the last year. So basically, it offers e-commerce platform in the segment of grocery, in the segments of fruits and vegetable, all the daily needs of customers. And it is operational in the northeast of India, a city called Agartala, and there are about 5,000 customers. So we choose this platform for integration experiment, so that a decent sized platform integration can be demonstrated. And typically, if you see, this platform has all the basic requirement of an e-commerce, such as multi-service support. Then it can facilitate POS integration. Then the platform is all available on Android and iOS platform. It is built on a Flutter architecture. Then it has other functionality that are used in the day-to-day functioning of an e-commerce platform, such as a good delivery management application and a good integration of a payment gateway into the system. So let's go into the details of what are all the nuts and bolts of an operation, of an integration of an e-commerce platform with an ERP. Say, typically, if you take, a lot can be demonstrated, but we have restricted this presentation to very select few functionality, such as what will happen when some end user installs the e-commerce application, and what are all the necessary functionalities or information that needs to get updated into the backend ERP. Say, for example, we have this application and an end user is installing it. Then the immediate requirement that needs to be updated are the customer details with their contact details, be it a telephone number, mobile number, or an email ID. So ERP Next provides a good API platform where you can see the URL that is that can be used to call a particular customer creation on the backend. So we can see the authorization code, and the most important thing is you can embed it from any of these application JSON format, and you can push this information, such as a customer name and other basic details as illustrated in the presentation. Then, apart from the customer name, we need to also include the customer phone number, email ID. So there is a separate URL to create a contact into the ERP backend. So ERP Next provides an API for that, and you can pass the relevant information into the ERP backend so that the customer, the related contact can be created. Then subsequently, say, for example, you take an e-commerce platform, and for an e-commerce platform, typically there are two main endpoint. One is a list of suppliers who are basically uploading their products into the platform, and a list of end consumers who are buying from the e-commerce platform. So one of the functionality that needs to be in place is that from the e-commerce platform, you can create a supplier, say, on the system, and the same can be transferred into the ERP system. So typically, if you, on a practical level, you see, if, for example, in Oman, for example, you are utilizing this e-commerce platform, and there are a lot of small businesses who wants to utilize the services offered by this e-commerce platform. So what architectural wise you can provide a solution is that you for every vendor, that is every small business, they can have their own instance of an ERP next, and then they can upload from the ERP. We can upload all the products that the business entity wants to sell into the e-commerce platform. We'll be demonstrating these end-to-end use cases, and this way, say, for example, in Oman, in Muscat, there are about 25 small businesses who wants to take the help of an e-commerce platform to sell their product. Then they, from their ERP, they can push the item they want to sell into the e-commerce platform. Say they, on an everyday basis, they can have a routine that these are the products that I want to sell on that particular e-commerce platform, and those products will be visible on the platform for the end user to see. So this is one typical functionality that can be implemented from the ERP into and how it can interface with the e-commerce platform. So basically, in the slide, what we have illustrated is that on the right, you see the Jumpoi e-commerce platform. That is a sample example that we have taken. And from there, vendors can be created, and it can be pushed onto the particular ERP next instance of that particular vendor. So this way, there is a multiple small businesses can come into the particular e-commerce platform. So this is typically what you will see, even if you take Amazon, or in UAE, we have Noon. So multiple small vendors, they come and they are given a platform or a channel or a set of procedure where they can come and they can open up their vendor listing. So typically, this is what on the back end it happens. So a supplier is created in the e-commerce platform, and then there is a link that is given to the backend ERP. So typically, if you take e-commerce platform like Amazon, so they pretty much integrate all this, the ERP platform as well as the e-commerce functionality into one single bundle. But what here we have explained is we have decoupled all those things to sort of explain as to how the interfaces happen when small businesses come and register to a bigger e-commerce platform. So these are the details how the vendor specific information can be created on the ERP. That is all the vendor details, their contact information, their email ID, etc. Then typically when we talk about vendor, we will also encounter, say, for example, you have a chain of stores, and in Muscat, you have 5 stores. And for each of the store, you want to create a reference. And later on, say, concepts or functionalities such as inventories can be implemented across the store. So individually, you can create individual stores from the e-commerce platform to the ERP, so that later on, with respect to their store location, with respect to the delivery, or with respect to inventory, things can be managed better. So these are the JSON format in which you push the information from the e-commerce platform into the ERP. So then the next important thing that is with respect to the item creation. That is, a small business will want to upload a set of items into the e-commerce platform. So they need to be provided a mechanism where they can push the item of their choice, what they want to sell, with the pricing details from their ERP into the e-commerce platform. So this is again here what we have done is that we have taken the APIs provided by the e-commerce platform. Say typically this when the small businesses, they interface with established e-commerce platforms such as Amazon, these details are pretty much hidden from there. So they are normally given a supplier portal where they can maintain a list of items, and then they can select, they can mention the pricing, so that the database is updated on the e-commerce platform, and those pricing detail and those items are visible to the end customer. So here what we have done is that we have decoupled that. So typically, if a small business from their ERP, they want to push an item into the e-commerce platform, so they have to use the APIs provided by the e-commerce platform. And then, of course, they have the security details using which you will have to get authenticated to access those APIs. So that we need to clearly mention it, as mentioned in the header section. And when we see with respect to the JSON format, we can push the individual item detail, that is the individual item code or individual item name or the pricing detail. Everything can be pushed from the ERP or into the e-commerce platform. So this is how using the API, a small vendor ERP can push the individual item into the e-commerce platform. So this is the details of that. And once the items are pushed, all the items are visible to the end consumer using the e-commerce platform. So once the end consumer orders a set of item, again, the e-commerce will have to use the APIs provided by the ERP to pass on the sales order detail, so that when assume a end consumer place a request, is confirming a sale for 2 items, those 2 items should be reflected back into the ERP, so that the vendor or the business, small business offering that service will immediately come to know that I have received an order for these items, and they can prepare themselves for planning the delivery of those items. And again, you will be seeing in the demo shortly that all these things will go back and forth in a very automated fashion. That is, the end vendors or small businesses can be given access to the ERP, and they can keep pushing the items that they want to sell on a daily or a periodic basis. And we will be seeing that when customers install the application, the information flow is automatically done back into the ERP. And similarly, as in the case of sale order, as and when the end consumers, they place an order, all the details of the order, including the items, their quantity, as well as the pricing of the individual item, are automatically transferred back into the ERP so that the businesses are prepared for the delivery. So typically when e-commerce platform places an order into the ERP, so these are the typical detailing of the sale order. That is, what is the name of the customer, what is the date the order was placed, then what are all the currency details, what are all the standard pricing mechanism of the ERP. Then when you see the JSON, here we have detailed out a single item order. That is, we are saying that this particular item and the description and the date of delivery, the quantity and the rate. So typically in an order, if there are about, say, more than one item, then this portion of items gets repeated. And so many subset are there within the JSON to communicate the item detail. So once the e-commerce platform creates this JSON and it can push it to the ERP through the APIs provided by the ERP with the required authentication, the proper information exchange can happen. So these are the what I could say is the how we basically in this presentation, what we have tried to do is that we have tried to break up the functionality of interaction between an e-commerce platform and an ERP. So in this whole architecture, what we are proposing is that if there is an e-commerce platform and if multiple small business want to join that e-commerce platform, and how they can utilize the ERP at their end and interface with the e-commerce platform, so that they can update the items and they can get a periodic update of the sale orders. So what we demonstrated is a couple of use cases. So similarly, we can even take this to an extent of capturing the cancellation of the order, which is typically prevalent in an e-commerce ecosystem. And we can also integrate the delivery. Say, for example, we saw a sale order getting created. So we can go to a next step, and in the ERP, we can create a delivery note, and we can push those delivery note back into the e-commerce platform and make sure that the delivery ecosystem or the delivery software within the e-commerce will handle those deliveries. So typically this becomes very important where you are building up an ecosystem of e-commerce where you entertain a lot of small business to be part of that. Then you can imagine the number of sale and number of deliveries that needs to be handled by that. So unless otherwise you automate this process, the required efficiency will not be achieved. So that is another use case with respect to cancellation or delivery that can be handled. So this is with respect to the presentation side. So we will follow this up with a small demo to actually showcase these three use cases. So Prithvi is there to show demo. So I will stop sharing the screen. And while Prithvi, he prepares for the demo, if you have any broad level questions, you can ask. And then by the time we will show you the use cases. Prithvi, you can prepare for that.
Yes. Hello everyone. So I will now be showing you the demo of the Jumpo app, which is connected to the ERP Next platform. So open up the Jumpo app. So this is the Jumpo app. Currently you are in the sign-in page. I will move on to, I will register as a new customer right now. My email address is optional. So this is the home page of the app. The menu of the home page, it will be automatically categorized according to the area you are in. So currently now I'm in India, so it is displaying the menu according to the products that are available in India. We can also change the location according to the operational areas. I'll just select UAE. And the menu which is designed for UAE will come up. So I can also browse through the products that are available just for the UAE market. So this is how the registration goes. So the customer who has registered right now, his details will be available in the ERP Next dashboard. So I can show you that. So what you are looking right now is the Jumpo admin dashboard. Its front end is an Angular framework and back end is Python. It's running on a Linux server in AWS. So this is the Jumpo dashboard. Beside it is the ERP Next dashboard. So if we click on customers, we can find the details of the customer that registered right now in the Jumpo app. So this is the customer. And it is also displayed in the Jumpo admin dashboard, the new customers. So we have details on both the dashboards. So this is one of the way. Siva, can you just add one product through the ERP Next dashboard?
Yeah, before that, probably we can show them a new customer registration.
Yeah, and the new customer registration happened right now.
Yeah.
So the demo to customers is automatically placed in the ERP Next dashboard and the Jumpo dashboard.
Okay. So let me share my screen. You can stop sharing. And
Yeah.
so basically, coming back to the ERP, you can add an item. Say, for example, I'm adding an item like one vegetable. So basically what I'm adding an item Oman banana and say the valuation rate is 4 and the selling rate valuation rate is 5 and the selling rate is 4 and the unit of measurement I give and I save it and I can show from the backend that so basically what it has done is from the backend when we created an item as you can see I will increase the so basically it is called the URL as you see on the right hand side that is from the Jumboy platform and then it gave an authentication header and then this is the basically the JSON it formatted with the information provided in the item screen with respect to the item code, the name of the product, the pricing and the quantity. And here on the right hand side, you see the response from the Jumboy platform that it has successfully created this vegetable Oman banana. So typically a vendor, he can create the product and he can push this using this mechanism into the e-commerce platform. So Prithvi, you can take over and demonstrate a user ordering this Oman banana that we created now into the system.
Okay. Okay, so the product which I have added right now as automatically listed in the app is one veg almond. So let me go ahead and add it to my cart. I can also order multiple quantities of the same item. I can also go ahead and order other products. The cart items can be of any count. So this is the checkout page which we are looking at. So we have the online and cash on delivery option. And the delivery slots, currently the delivery slots, how much it should be there, these are directly manageable from the Jumboy admin dashboard. So I'll just go ahead with cash on delivery. And if there's any order note, I can put it here. If they have any special coupon code, I can enter it here and apply, and the discount will apply. So I'll just go ahead and place the order. And the order is placed. And I can.
So, yeah. So we can come back. Prithvi, if you can stop sharing, I will show it in the.
Yeah.
So if we come back to the ERP, So we can see that in the ERP, a sale order is created where we place the order and the details are there. So typically what this organization can do is that it can confirm the sale order and then it can basically create a sales invoice which can be delivered back to the end customer, right? So these operations of once the sale order is received, the automatic generation of the sales invoice and the delivery note can be pretty much automated. And then what we can do is that once from the ERP, we can push the sale invoice and the delivery note into the e-commerce platform. And what can happen is that these things along with the delivery can be reached to the end consumers. So these are the details of how the interactions can happen between a ERP and a e-commerce platform to help them sort of facilitate an order, etc. So this is a very brief overview. So we can take up questions now on to whatever aspect that we explained now.
So it seems there is no questions at this stage.
So hope you all got the concept of the main integration point between an ERP and an e-commerce platform, the various aspects of interactions like the customer registration, items update, and also the sale order syncing between the e-commerce platform and the ERP.
I think it's clear, Dr. Siva. It is a good practical example of such application.
Correct.
So people asking about the lecture, we can record it and send it to them. We'll do that for lectures.
So you can also check with us for any clarification that you have. Please email it to us. We'll be more than happy to help you out if any of these want to be practically implemented. Say, for example, ERP Next is a complete open source. So if any of the colleges or any organization, business want to implement this, and also along with that, implement an e-commerce solution, any clarification regarding that, please feel free to let us know. And there are a lot of development taking place in this space. The latest being that there is a concept of aggregation of the e-commerce. That is, Unicommerce is a solution where it has aggregated a lot of e-commerce platform. So, and with ERP Next, we have also integrated with Unicommerce. The advantage is that a single organization or a small business in a trading with the B2C or a B2B can log on to this Unicommerce, and the Unicommerce provides a lot of channel, be it say, for example, here in UAE, we have Noon, Amazon, then we have Shopify, then individual organization, if they want to go and use Magento, they can have their own e-commerce platform set up using an open source, and they can utilize the open source functionality of ERP Next, and then pretty much establish an pretty much end-to-end framework. Say like Unicommerce, it helps you, say for a small vendor, he has want to push his product to 10 different channels. Say he has 1,000 of his product, he wants to push 10 on 100 on Amazon, 100 on Shopify. He can do that, and pretty much he can, on a very dynamic basis, he will get all the status of sale back into the ERP, and that way the inventory handling also can be very much coordinated. And as mentioned, the sale invoice deliveries can also be automated. So that way they have a very end-to-end view of their businesses in trading, that they can take the help from sitting in the back end and viewing all these operations pretty much happening end to end in an automated way.
Sort of. Are you finished with the presentation?
Yeah, the presentation, we are pretty much done with that. And if you have any questions, we can take it up.
I think you mentioned that people can contact through email. Is very interesting. Maybe there are some universities or who want to apply the same idea on other applications. So we will contact you if such.
Yeah, definitely. We'll be very happy to help you people out.
That is our pleasure also. I would like to thank you, Mr. Siva and Mr. Rizvi, for this practical application. Really, that is more deep in coding and mobile application. So I think we can say that we will contact you with any interested people in such application. Many thanks for your practical example.
Correct. Thank you. Thank you so much. And we'll be also very much happy to help the students of various universities in Oman if they want to have a practical session or a technical session they want to organize on this. We will be all the more happy to do that.
I think such workshop need to be extended so that there will be a type of training.
Correct.
I think that we need such training for maybe for students, for engineers to work with such applications. I would like to thank you too much, and thanks all the presenter in this session, and thanks all the attendee. That's really, we are happy to have you with us in this symposium.